using now. And actually, what the customer will be using now, for example, in our workplace, okay, with the new product that we're exploring, which is a dispatch app for restaurants, for takeaway restaurants. They have a product they're using now. It's called phone. They're just using the phone and the memory to know where the driver is at. They don't need, at the moment, they don't have a map. Our own product, we give them a map, a GPS. So our major competition is the memory of the takeaway owner. That's that competition. That's what exists now. So in order for us to be able to identify the unique proposition, we need to, first of all, understand what exists out there. And the way I do this, some of the time, is using a quadrant. And I try to group into 4 areas. So I say what exists out there. So for example, in this product, what are the key things that exist out there? What are the main people that you're competing with?
Okay, for instance, if we look at it from the record point of view, individual hospital have record of a patient, which they don't transfer with the patient when they go to the next.
So you have individual private
hospitals, yeah. They don't transfer the record, so when you go to the next hospital, they will start all over again. So the man in the next hospital will not know what has been done and what has not been done. Unlike here, even if you change your GP today, automatically your record goes to the next GP. They don't tell you about that, but it will go within 2 weeks, everything will have been sent.
So what about government hospitals as well?
The same thing.
So you have government hospital, I'll see that as another segment of competition. So this one, they have silo record keeping, so they only keep the record for themselves. Government don't share, do they share? But they have silo as well, silo record, but they have more facilities, right? More facilities. This one, one of the key things I think this one will have is that people know them, so they're like a family doctor, so there's that familiarity that you have. So patients feel more comfortable with that doctor, right? Which is a good thing that we can have. Then you have the big hospitals as well, the big
hospitals.
Private hospitals. They seem to have sometimes that silo record,
yes,
facilities, and familiarity. Sometimes, yeah, they do have that. This one have got the expertise, I think. They've got all the doctors from Louvre and from...
To some extent.
Yeah. So what's going to make this, let's call this X, okay? What's going to make X different? What's the unique proposition of X that makes that pick from all of this?
Sorry, I know it's you. I think the unique proposition from all he has said will be connecting the international doctors with the people that need them on a platform. Am I right?
Expertise.
Yes, expertise. Up to date.
Although these guys have got expertise as well, so they've got international doctors as well.
Yeah, but it's only a few people that can go to the big private ones. Now, this is a wider reach. So now if you go on the app or on the website, you have access to at least one of the doctors from the UK telling you, oh, they've seen this situation before happen.
Whether that doctor is around or not.
Or not. You will still have access to the platform to be able to give the advice. Then if they now need a physical consultation they'll go to the centers. To the walk-in centers, which is also, within the.
No, the center will be for instance, if let's put it this way, maybe I've been speaking to someone on the phone in the last 2 weeks, and it comes to the time that we need an expert, okay, and I can go home and meet the person in the center, or I can refer her or him to somebody I trust in terms of management of that problem.
Yeah. So you have that online accessibility to expertise.
Yes.
Or wider accessibility to expertise.
Because what happened is, that's why I said patient education a lot of time we have seen people that have surgical problem, they are being treated by gynecologists. Because patients don't understand that doctors have their specialty. For instance, I'll give you an example. I know of a woman that went for operation of the goiter, okay, done by a general surgeon, and they messed her up. And even when she developed cancer, she did not want to go and see any doctor anymore. And she knew that it's likely to be cancer until she came here about 10 years later, and she knew it was cancer and got it sorted here. Because when you are going to see breast cancer, for instance, you go to the breast specialist. You are not going to be seen by a general surgeon. You are not going to be seen by gynecologists. You are not going to be seen by orthopedic surgeon. But in Nigeria, orthopedic surgeons do everything, and they mess it up.
So
You can see the.
So the unique. Hello. So the unique value proposition here is that, I think, to me, is the wider reach. It's the wider reach that you have. Because, yeah, the value for money. Yes, this guys can have the expertise as well. They can have that specially, but it's the wider reach and the platform. Well, I think you asked a very, very good question. What makes this different from
Google?
Not just Google, yeah, Google or any other online platform. What makes it different from that?
Okay, yeah, the difference is where I have headache, have fever, of course, those are small, minor ailments. So you still expect people to be able to Google for it and make their own diagnosis. But even if you go and see a doctor, the doctor will tell you if this does not resolve in 3 to 5 days, don't sit on it.
Yeah.
So those ones that will not be sitting on symptoms that they thought is just common cold are the one that needs to be seen by a doctor.
So it's not,
So
Google is not it, yeah.
Yes, it's not going to be anything.
So this is the way to create a unique value proposition. That's the way I do it. So if I have an idea that I really want to explore, I will say, okay, what makes it different? And like I said, every idea, there's generally no unique idea in the world anymore. It's a subset of an idea. So whatever product you want to build, something, there is a version of it, or maybe a bad version. Now it can actually be people, or it could be a bad way of it, but exists. And you want to see what makes it different. So, for example, I give Uber, the logistic company. Their major competition is a taxi company. But what makes them different is not to go and have their own taxi fleet. It's to just build a technology that is accessible to everyone. They recruit taxi guys, and then they recruit people to be using it. So this is how to do that, to answer that question. Right. What's the unfair advantage that you think you have, that we have for this product? By the way, we are building a product. We are just using this link canvas to build a product that Dr. came up with. It's a top-class healthcare service in Nigeria. To use doctors' expertise here to people in Nigeria. So we're trying to build a business case around it. What's the unfair advantage that you think we have for this product? Which is like the unique proposition, but what's the unfair advantage? What is the competitive edge that it's got above the others?
Oh, you mean unfair advantage?
Yeah.
What is on unfair advantage? What is that? Okay.
Yes. What's the unfair advantage of this? And when you're thinking about the unfair advantage, don't just think about the existing competition, which is the government or the private hospital. Think about somebody else that wants to do this. Okay? Somebody else who is going to do similar stuff. So a good example is when Apple came up with iPhone, with touch screen, it didn't take long for Samsung to do exactly something similar. But what is the unfair advantage of, both of them are the same in a way. They do this, you make a phone call, you have the app, everything. But what is the unfair advantage of Apple over Samsung? Not unfair advantage of Apple over Nokia. Because Nokia, they're not in the same lane anymore. So what's the value of this product over anyone else that wants to do something similar later on?
I think I can quickly come up with 3. One, that the fact that we are doing some part of it online,
Yeah.
which is not in existence to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
2 is that we are using experts from developed country.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the third one is the fact that we are moving away from the era of solo kind of company. We are moving into era of it is our company rather than one person.
Yeah.
There's one company that's doing something like that,
Yeah.
similar, but you still have to go and see their own doctor, and maybe they have only 2 doctors, so everybody goes through those 2 doctors.
Yeah. But then that's not your unfair advantage, I think.
Okay.
Because that is your unfair advantage over existing competition, over the private and the government clinics.
Okay.
If I want to build it, if you start your product a year and then you start and it's launched, okay, what will you have as an edge over me that I want to start 2 years after and do exactly what you're doing?
Oh, okay. I understand what you mean. Okay.
I think is
Client base. Yeah, but you just client, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
client
yeah.
base, because you'll have got some client in.
Yeah, so I would say
But-
scale is an unfair advantage. Ability to scale as fast as possible can be unfair advantage. So which is this client base? Okay? So if you grow very fast, growing very fast, a company that grows very, very fast is an unfair advantage. So let me give you a good example of a company that used that. Just Eat. How many of you know Just Eat?
That's good.
That's the
Okay.
space that we're in. Okay? Just Eat and Hungry House. You know Hungry House? Okay. So Hungry House started in the UK around 2005, 2006. So they were in the UK before Just Eat. Just Eat started in Denmark. So the same product, the same business model, the same customer base. Both of them do takeaway. They approach takeaway restaurants. They order and they get them to be on the platform, and they get customers, they advertise customer order, and the restaurant will deliver. So Hungry House has been in the UK 2005, 2006. Just Eat came to the UK, started the same product. But what made Just Eat have unfair advantage over Hungry House was their ability to scale very fast. So I met with lots of VCs that venture capitalists that wanted to invest in both of them, and they said we looked into both companies. When Hungry House started, they were saying that we've got the best technology. Okay, our restaurants love us because our technology is easy to use and blah blah. And Just Eat said, we don't have very good technology, but forget about that. We don't care. We have a shitty technology, but we're going to get the best. We're going to get more users than anyone. We're going to go out and get more restaurants than Hungry House. So while Hungry House is still trying to figure out how to grow in London, Just Eat were in Bristol, they were in Birmingham, they Leeds, they were buying companies everywhere, and they scaled very far, and they raised lots of money to do that. Their scale and the huge number of people that they have on their platform became their unfair advantage over Hungry House. So that could be ability to scale very fast, execute fast. I think another unfair advantage you might have is the network of doctors. So if you have me because you see this as we call it two-sided marketplace. Okay, this kind of thing is two-sided marketplace. You are a marketplace, and the two-sided is that you have doctors as your suppliers, and you have your patients as your demand. Doctors will come and use and play on your service, on your platform, or render the service if there is demand for it. Your patient will come if there's enough doctors. So if I come there and I have headache and I have a specialist in headache there, I will come back again, right? If somebody have headache. I will use the service if I'm diagnosed faster because there is a lot of equipment and a lot of doctors. And both of them affect each other in a two-sided marketplace. And they create what we call network effect. A network effect is basically a platform that becomes better the more users that it gets added to. And every user creates an incremental value to the platform. Because the more doctors that come in, the better for the patient, and the more patients that come in, more doctors will want to come. So if you have a network of doctors, if I'm a doctor, I only have 365 days a year, okay? I work with NHS in England. I can only afford to give 20 days a year to your platform. If you start another platform like that, even if you offer me 1.5 times a year, I will still want to stick with it because I only have 20 days. So you lock me into that network. The only thing you can do is maybe, and then when you start anyway, you don't have enough users. So I will not come to you until, and if it's locked me in because it's locked my time, so I cannot move. And that could create it could be a first mover advantage, but in a startup world, we call it winner takes all. Okay, if you want to buy a whole computer, where do you think of going to buy it from online? eBay. Is there any other type of eBay? There are, actually. There are other auction sites. But the difference between eBay and the number 2 is huge. You don't think about number 2. There used to be QYZ, yeah, it's still in Europe. You don't think about number 2. You never really go to number 1 because it's got that scale. Nobody thinks of number 2. If I want to list my item, I think about eBay. I don't think about number 2. If I want to buy any, I go to Amazon. I don't think of number 2 because number 1 is 1. So, and the difference between number 1 and number 2 is number 1 gets Bentley, number 2 gets a plastic football. That's the difference. Number 1 gets a Bentley as a prize. Number 2, you get a paper aeroplane. Maybe. So that's the advantage that you can have. Scale very fast, build a network of doctors as quickly as possible.
But the question I'm going to ask is, what's going to be the value to the doctors? How would the doctors, because of course, they're giving out their time, so how do you pay for the time?
You pay them, no, you pay them money, you pay them good money. That's what doctors see.
In that platform,
yeah,
the doctor will charge their patients.
Oh, so it's even an open marketplace. Yes. So the doctors is the one that will charge.
Yes.
So
the doctor charge their patients.
So if it's a doctor and then he can charge more than I do, I can charge less than.
How do you control it?
Interesting.
No, we just give. It's just a platform for them that brings link patient to doctor, but there will be a kind of regulation that which will be advised to patient.
That's even more interesting. I like that. I like that.
So that's what they do in Canada, in Australia. That's why doctors are going there. They charge their patients.
That's very, very good.
They charge their patients. They are not the owner of the clinic. They pay some money to the clinic for using the property and their staff.
So, and you're building that kind of platform online and offline?
Online.
So as a doctor, I can just say, okay, I've got few hours to spend in a year.
Yes.
Actually, I can do consultation every weekend online.
Yes.
And then I can go to Lagos and spend 2 weeks to meet with my patients.
Yes. That's what it's about.
Okay. Let's move on fast.
So they are not employed by us.
Let's move on fast to our customer segment. Then we'll talk about channels. So that will be customer segment. Who are the customers? And what are the segments? Remember what I said during the speech? Everybody's not your customer. Identifying your original customer is very important. At Mills, I'll give you an example. At Mills.co.uk, we say our customers are 25 to 40-year-old young professionals, ABC1 groups. And ABC1 is just a socio-economic groupings in the UK. So you have class A, B, C, and then maybe lower. If you're earning less than 18,000 or 20,000, if you're earning less than 20,000, you're not a customer. Because you cannot afford to take leave from those posh restaurants that we leave from them. Or you don't even want to buy from them. If you're older, you'll probably be cooking anyway, you don't want to. If you're a young professional, you're time poor, cash rich, you're a customer. And those are the people that we target. Those are the people we go after. We look at any city that we're operating in, we look at the demographics of where people live, and who are the people that live here, young professionals, that's what we target. We target them on Facebook, we target them on Google, and we do different. We don't go to, there are some areas in Bristol, they don't even know that we exist. Because our customers are not there. So understanding your customer segment is important. So for this product, who are the customers?
Well, I think it's, we can say the doctors
Yes, that's good.
that are here or that are able to comply with the rules and regulations in terms of keeping up to date, doing the continuous medical education.
So will you specify which countries you want the doctors to come from?
To be from UK, US, Australia, and even Nigeria.
Okay.
And
Because
the
specifying
patient.
that we help a lot.
Yeah.
To say, this is the kind of profile of doctors I'm looking for. Our typical doctor would have gone to this school and have this X amount of experience and have that. It's good. Yeah,
Then
which is a
patient.
Patient, yeah.
I don't think, because the way we factor it, more money comes from doctor rather than patient.
How?
Because patient only register to be linked to doctor, so they're not paying, well, just suggestion, we think a patient will just pay about 10,000 a whole year, and that 10,000 even cover free health check for that patient. It allows patient to have medical services free, medical information free. It allows patient to have his or her record.
Did you say $10,000 or £10,000?
10,000 naira.
That's ridiculously cheap.
Yes, because the bulk of the money.
Okay, we'll come to that later. How do you make money
the
then?
bulk of the money comes from the doctor, because the doctor will pay. Will have to register. We are looking about 50,000 per annum. 1, 2 per
We'll
patient.
come to that anyway. We'll come
Okay.
to the revenue streams. But I think that's very interesting, and we can take this offline later.
Okay.
Yeah, there are lots of ways you can do it rather than doctors registering. You can do if it's a marketplace, you charge commission.
Yeah, the commission aspect of it is when you speak to when you do your consultation per minute on our line is so amount of naira.
That the doctors pay.
That the doctors pay, but the doctor will take it from the patient.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about this. What kind of patients are you looking for? Obviously, you're not going to look for patients that cannot access online.
Yeah. So it's going to
So
be
you have a segment of patients you're looking for.
people that can have access to online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fairly educated patients.
Well, again, if you want, you can still add, if it's Nigeria, you can still add local languages, which will make you a bit wider.
Yeah, but they're not targeting this kind of patients.
Yeah, we
Originally, they're not going to target that kind of patient.
we target patients.
So you're targeting urban patients,
Yeah.
people. So if I want to limit it for you, okay, I'll say you want to target patients that work in banks, oil company, or lawyers or whatever.
Professional people.
Right? These are the people, or politicians. So just to narrow it, these our typical patient works in Shell.
You don't
And
have
it's-
time to go for a medical.
Yeah.
But again, sorry to cut you short, but Shell does medical checkups and on the back. Well,
Okay, yeah.
the organizations
Okay,
organize
so then it's
all
okay,
this
it's not
stuff.
then. So my typical patient is the guy that works in Zenith Bank or whatever. Okay? But anyway, it's segmenting your patient segmenting your customer is very important. It forces you to think about how to structure and build your product. Okay? Let's leave that and go to channels, because our patients help us to do the channels. Now that we understand our patients, right? What are the channels in which you can reach them? So we know that there are doctors that live in the diaspora, there are patients that work in banks, so that urban dwellers, fairly educated, access to the internet, and can afford to pay.
Well, number one, social
Maybe not
media.
too rich, so you're not going for the super rich, because those ones who want to travel abroad.
Middle class.
You're going for upper middle class.
Well, the super rich that wants to come abroad as well, they run into problem because if they don't have contact here, in this system here, I've had to refer a lot of people as standing as their GP in this place.
So even if I want to go, if I'm
If
super
you come
rich and I
from
want to go
abroad-
to Blooming, what's the name of the
If you
hotel?
come from abroad,
I want to go to the one in London. What's the name of that big one in London?
Wellington,
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
So I have to know somebody here.
yeah, because they don't understand the system. You know Wellington because you live here.
No,
You
if
don't
I'm
know-
super rich Nigerian and I
Yes,
just
but you don't live here, so you don't know Wellington. And the system in Nigeria is you just walk to any big hospital. Here, they will be asking who is referring you.
anyway, that's good. So you're so targeting the super rich as well. Okay, so what's the channel we're using to address to get them? Well, so when you now you build your product and now you know the product, you know your fair advantage, you know your customers. How do you reach them?
Social media, Facebook,
Okay,
Twitter, all the channels.
social media. Do we think that would be the first thing you do for this kind of product?
To be sincere, one of the way we're looking at is to actually word of mouth to our colleagues and also attend gatherings of
So networking, right?
yeah, gatherings of what's it called?
Like conferences
Doctors.
and
Like for instance, we have what we call MANCSA here. That's Medical Association of Medical Doctors here. So we'll go to there and we'll explain to them what we are doing, and we do similar thing in UK. I mean US. It's not going to be very difficult because we know ourselves anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
So it's just
among your
networking
colleagues.
first to get the supply side coming, the supply side going.
Yes.
What about the demand side?
Okay. The demand side is what we need, the like of maybe Naira Land in Nigeria.
But I think print media would really help. Because once you put in Guardian or widely circulated newspapers, it's going to fly.
But my own is
It's not highly,
I think
that
the
culture,
best
that
way-
society is not highly digitized like.
It is.
It is.
This
But
people they are
I
targeting is
think-
highly digitized.
I think the best way to go about it is talking to MTN or having what in a way whereby maybe
So you're talking about partnership,
SMS.
right?
Yeah, we might be SMS, all this bulk
Like
SMS,
bulk SMS, yeah.
bulk
yes.
SMS,
Yeah.
but partnering with, because in Nigeria, the media or internet is still controlled by the telecommunications company. If you want to have a wider reach, if you get what I mean.
Okay.
Like,
So go back to my talk about when you start a product, you have the idea stage, validate, and grow. And some of the channels that we're talking about here, like social media, print, or MTN, I think some of them are very good, only at the scale level. Where you're still trying to validate the idea, because my background is my background is in software startups. I'm always skeptical about product that needs huge or big marketing strength to lift off, because they just drain cash. The best is to start in a very small way, prove it, because this needs to be proven. There are